Multiple ankle injuries limited LaMelo Ball to 36 games last season, but the good news for Charlotte is that it sounds like he'll be at full strength when the upcoming season starts. He had surgery to repair a fractured right ankle in February, and so far, based on what has been reported, there have been no setbacks. Although it's hard to gauge where LaMelo is at in his career considering he didn't play much last year, I think it's fair to ask ourselves what tier he belongs on amongst the top stars in the league. It's a subjective topic, but tier 1 players to me are the ones who can legitimately lead a team to a championship as a number 1 option. Each season, with that idea in mind, there are only between 8 and 12 tier 1 players. Tier 2, meanwhile, is a much wider range. Maybe it's the players who rank anywhere between 10 and 30 or 10 and 40. These are all-star caliber players, but not guys you can see leading a team to a championship. I think most would agree when healthy, based on what he has shown so far, that LaMelo is in this tier. With him turning just 22 this summer though, there's still time for him to climb that ladder and maybe get into a tier 1 conversation. If that's going to happen, this is probably the year where he would have to show substantial progress. Let's take a look at where his game is at through 3 NBA seasons. The thing that you'll notice reviewing his basic stats is that while his scoring and assist averages went up last season, his overall efficiency went down. He averaged 23.3 points in year 3, but shot just 41.1% from the field. What also stands out is that last year he was taking way more shots further away from the basket than in his first 2 seasons. For example, in his rookie year, 30.9% of his shots were taken within 3 feet of the basket. His second year, 20.4%, and last year, 16.9%. Meanwhile, 53% of his shot attempts last season were from three-point range, up 15% from his rookie year and 8% from his second year. There are 2 particular categories where he excelled at in 2022-23, and they are stationary catching and shooting and pull-up jump shooting from beyond 15 feet. As far as the stationary catching and shooting, last year he took 115 of these shots, all from three-point distance, and made 45.2% of them. Among the 162 players that took at least 100 of them, that was the 16th best percentage. When the Hornets were debating between Brandon Miller and Scoot Henderson with that number 2 overall pick, the idea of pairing LaMelo with Scoot made some sense with LaMelo's improved shooting playing off the ball. But reducing positional size and limiting LaMelo as a playmaker didn't really seem ideal, which perhaps went into Charlotte's decision to select Miller instead. The wings were where LaMelo really shot it well. From these areas, he made 49.2% of his 61 attempts, up 9% from the prior season. Another interesting aspect of his catching and shooting is that he took so many of them from really far out. 81 of his 115 catch and shoot three-point attempts last season came from at least 27 feet out. Even though he only played in 36 games, that was the 6th most in the league, according to Second Spectrum. He made 42% of them though, which is an extraordinarily good percentage. Even wilder is that 22 of them came from at least 30 feet out, which was the most in the league, and he shot 45.5% on them. That's quite amazing. Now, it's important to note that he did not shoot it well in relocation situations. From any distance beyond the three-point line, he shot 31.6% on the move and relocation shots after the catch. His pull-up jump shooting from the middle of the floor near the free throw line was money. He made 48% of his shots from this region off the dribble. The prior year, he shot just 32% on pull-ups from this region. Meanwhile, just about everything going to the basket declined. As I said earlier, he was taking fewer shots from closer range, but also wasn't efficient at all. He's never been a good floater guy, but last year he made just 41.2% of his 68 driving floaters. Among the 88 players who took at least 50 of them, that ranked 67th. Also, he made just 44.9% of his 167 driving layups, down 5% from the prior season. Among the 149 players who took at least 100 of them in 2022-23, that ranked 140th, so 9th worst. Having a healthy LaMelo makes a big difference on Charlotte's pace of play. When LaMelo was on the court this past season, the Hornets averaged 13.9 shots in transition per 100 possessions. When he was off the court, they averaged 12.7. In 2020-21, LaMelo's rookie year, the Hornets ranked 4th in total field goals made in transition. The following year, they ranked 2nd, but last season they ranked 11th. Now again, LaMelo was absent for big chunks of the season, so we must factor that in. The thing that LaMelo was doing better than ever before from a passing standpoint was finding the streamers, cutters, and rollers. And this is really his bread and butter and what makes him such an exciting and flashy player. He has incredible vision and showmanship, which is why so many are drawn to his game and enjoy watching him play. The Hornets were a bad three-point shooting team last season. They were 29th in three-point percentage and 27th in three-pointers made. Maybe the addition of Brandon Miller will help, as LaMelo does make some nice kick-out passes that Miller will benefit from. LaMelo just needs to get into the paint more. Here you see, though, what he can do when he does attack the paint and use his vision to find shooters on the perimeter. What he does well defensively is get his hands in the passing lanes. In 2021-22, his second year, he actually recorded the 9th most deflections. Last season, he averaged 2.5 deflections per contest, and the Hornets, as a team, ranked 5th in this category. As a side note, Charlotte ranked last in the league in charges drawn, though. They had just 10 of them all year. Some other key notes about LaMelo is that he doesn't get to the free throw line much, as he's averaging just 3.3 foul shots per game in his career, and he only had 3 dunks last year. He had 24 the prior year and 8 in his rookie campaign. Last season, he scored at least 20 points 25 times, including 6 times erupting for 30 plus. He shot 41.1% from the field overall and 37.6% from three-point range. So that'll wrap up this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe.